is being played by Michael Woods.
There we go, Dan. Thank you, son. Fred, you're looking awful serious. Is there anything wrong?
No. But I did want to talk to you about the divorce.
I see. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything more from Mom?
No, not directly. I talked with Boston this morning. I spoke with my lawyer.
What did he say?
Well, there's a problem. It seems that Judith is balking at the divorce.
Well, but what about you and Rena then?
Well, until your mother agrees to a settlement, I can't answer that question.
Thank you. I would like to propose a toast to Allison Linden for a job well done.
Here's to World Oil.
I'll drink to that. I'm glad you could join me.
Well, thank you for asking me.
It's my pleasure. I've wanted to do this ever since you introduced me to that wonderful Mrs. Oster and her equally wonderful mineral oil leases.
I'm so glad that worked out.
Oh, it's worked like a charm. And believe me, Mr. Wheeler isn't going to forget what you did either.
I just love being here, looking down at everything from the top of the world.
So do I. Tell you something else I love.
What?
That dress you're wearing. I've been admiring it all day.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you like it. I thought perhaps it was a little daring.
You know what I always say? If you have it, show it.
I like that attitude. Yes.
Hi, Ricky.
Rita, how are you?
Hi.
Don't you look nice?
Oh, thank you.
Glad to see you here.
Do you know Allison Linden?
No, I don't believe I do.
Hello, Ricky.
Hi.
Can you join us?
Sure, for a couple of minutes.
Good.
Allison, that's a beautiful dress you're wearing.
Rehnquist?
What?
So, that is your name. How did you find that out? You're free to go. What? Your bail is paid.
Hey, Lurleen, every store in town is having a sale.
Ruby, look at this.
What?
You gotta look. See how the pattern on this thing is on the cloth nail? It looks real pretty, kind of like art.
Really?
Ruby, look at it.
Oh, yeah, hon, that's real nice.
First part of Texas is brought to you by the lively decaffeinated High Point decaffeinated coffee with flavor as full of life as you are.
Gregory?
Hi, Ashley.
Well, hi, baby. How are you? Mwah. What'd you do today?
Went to the park.
Oh, did you play some ball?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great.
Wasn't that great. See, there are these kids there, and they play there all the time.
Well, did you play with them?
Yeah, sort of. They put me in right field.
Well, that's good.
That's where they put you if you're no good.
Oh. Well, how did you do?
Didn't make any errors.
Well, see, that's great.
'Cause nothing ever gets hit to a right fielder.
Oh.
Could have went to bed.
Well, you got to bat, didn't you?
3 times.
How'd you do?
Struck out.
Well, that's not so good, is it?
Not great.
Well, look, it's the first time that you ever played. I'm sure that when you practice, you'll get better.
Actually, I'm not very good at baseball.
No?
But Marshall was, though.
Why do you say that?
'Cause he's got this neat glove. It's like a big leaguer. I think the glove is why they wanted me to play.
Let me tell you something. I bet you that if you practice, you'll get better, and Marshall can help you. Would you like that?
Think he would?
Sure he would. And then you'll get good real quick.
No, I couldn't get worse.
Let me tell you something. You'll find this out in life. You have to work very hard for anything that you get. So you can practice and you'll get better. Okay? Huh? Mr. Gloomy? Mr. Gloomy? Okay? Is that okay? So you're going to quit worrying about it? You going to quit worrying about it? Huh? I want to tell you something. You have got a family. A real family. And they're going to stick by you no matter what. And you know what else?
What?
You can always depend on us. Now you remember that.
I will. Ashley, I love you.
I love you too. Oh, look here. I do.
So, how do you like Houston?
I love it.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear you say that. You know, a lot of newcomers don't take to it so easily.
Yeah, well, I adapt to things pretty quickly. And, I like my job.
Well, that helps.
And I also happen to find the men in Houston fascinating.
You do, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're very polite, but they're also very aggressive, and I like that.
So, have you seen the Astrodome yet?
No. I like strong men. And, well, it must take a lot of strength to be a performer, huh?
Well, and a lot of luck, too.
Oh, but it's not just luck. Do you like it?
Sure. I love it. I've been filling in on the Phil Roberts show now, and I like that, too.
I know, I've seen you. They're wonderful.
Oh, thank you very much.
You have this kind of, this magnetism that comes right through the screen.
You think so, huh?
Yeah. Charisma.
Well, I don't know if I would go quite that far.
Oh, I would. I get the feeling that you have some pretty intense relationships with women.
Not really.
I bet they just throw themselves at you.
I wish.
You're being too modest. Just wait till you're a real big star.
We might have a pretty long wait.
No. You're gonna make it real big, I can tell.
Allison, how would you like to be my press agent?
I think I'm kidding, huh? All right, give me your hand.
What?
Give me your hand. No, that's your past. I want your future.
Future?
Oh, there, you see? I was right.
About what?
You're gonna be a big star. It's all in your palm.
Well, I got all the paint washed off this thing.
Sure is nice to have a little peace and quiet around here.
Well, I'll say we earned it.
Feels wonderful to just be here alone.
I know. I'm real glad we're not a trio anymore.
Now, as long as we can keep that next-door neighbor from popping in and out, we'll be fine.
I think Gretchen is real nice, Ruby.
Erlene, you think everybody's real nice.
Well, what's wrong with Gretchen?
She's boring. Being with her is like taking home economics all over again.
I think she's real interesting.
Fascinating.
And I think she could use some friends right now.
Why?
Well, I think she's real lonely. You know, she got divorced from this man that was in plastics.
What'd he do? Work in one of those factories that smell so bad?
No. Gretchen said he owned them. He owned them? Well, she never got too specific. I think it was real painful to talk about. I think he spent too much time at work, since he had factories all over the world.
He had factories all over the world and she divorced him?
Yeah, and it's sad. And it's happening so much these days.
He must have been loaded.
Gretchen said that they called him the Plastics King.
And she divorced him.
And she said they had houses all over the world. Riviera, Switzerland, Palm Springs, and Cleveland.
That must be where she gets her clothes.
When they got the divorce, she got the villa in Switzerland and the house in Palm Springs.
And she lives here?
She pays 6 times more for her apartment than we do. And it's smaller than ours.
Poor thing.
Her furniture is lovely, though. And she has 3 fur coats.
I can't believe that.
It's real sad, though, to see somebody coping with a divorce.
Oh, yeah. Lurleen, maybe I ought to try and get to know Gretchen better.
Well, Ruby, I think you should. She's had a real interest in life, and she tells wonderful stories.
Well, how come you never told me any of this before?
Ruby, you hadn't been exactly neighborly towards her.
Well, I know that, honey, but I do believe all that is going to change.
Well, I'm real glad to hear that. Now, do you need anything while I'm out?
Where are you going?
Well, I think I'm gonna... I'll get it.
Oh, how you doing?
Hi, Gretchen.
Gretchen, come on in. How are you?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Oh, not at all, not at all. Come on in.
Well, I'll leave you two alone. I'll be back in a little while.
Okay, Lillian, see you later. Gretchen, what can I get you? Come on, why don't you come over here to sit down? Make yourself comfortable. Do you think Mom is going to refuse to give you a divorce?
I don't know.
The lawyer give you any reason why she wanted to stall?
No, just that she's giving us an awful lot of trouble.
Why, then?
Well, apparently she's become very interested in my life here in Houston.
Oh, she has she?
And most specifically, she wants to know about World Oil and my stake in it.
Really?
Yes, she wants all that information before she'll agree to a divorce. And she obviously wants that taken into consideration before she'll agree to a financial agreement.
But she already agreed to a divorce, so it should be over by now. You gotta live your life and get on with other things.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But divorce is usually messier than people think that it will be. And it's rarely fair to either side.
You said that Mom got a good settlement, a generous one.
I thought so. But obviously, she no longer does.
I'm gonna give Mom a call.
No, Brett. Not about this, at least. Stay out of it, will you?
All right, but look, I'm telling you
Brett,
that
I had a long conversation with my lawyers. I've given them explicit instructions. I'll leave it up to them, okay?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Dad, couldn't part of the problem be that you're in 2 different cities, that you're trying to settle this thing at long distance?
Yeah, but I prefer it that way, Brett.
Why?
Well, it's better than Judith coming here to Houston. That would make things a lot worse.
Mom, have you seen my bag?
No, honey.
Oh, here it is. Well, don't you look pretty this evening?
Thank you.
You going out?
Yes, I'm going over to Grant's for dinner.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Can you believe it? I'm early for the first time in my life.
Well, then sit down a minute.
Okay.
You're very fond of Grant, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So am I.
Glad we agree.
Grant seems to me to be a very strong man.
Yes, he is. He's thoughtful, considerate. You want to know the thing that I like best about him?
What?
No matter what kind of mood I'm in, rotten, whatever, he can always make me laugh.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, you've been in a good mood lately, most of the time.
I know. I owe that to Grant.
I thought so. Oh, I can't tell you how much it means to me to see you happy.
I know. I really am, too. Hey, what about you? Now, what are you going to do tonight?
Oh, I'm going to stay home in front of the fire with a good book.
Sounds relaxing. Of course, I don't blame you for staying home tonight.
No?
No, not after the late hours you were keeping last night.
Oh. Did I come home late last night? I didn't check the time.
Mama, it was after...
Rena, you are checking up on me.
I am not. I just thought maybe you'd like to talk things over, like where you were or what you were doing. I mean, I tell you everything I'm doing.
You know, this book I picked up got awfully good reviews.
You're not going to tell me, are you?
That's right.
And people wonder why I'm so stubborn. I'm going over to Grant's tonight, and I will be home early. I wouldn't want you to worry.
I won't, dear.
Sure you're staying home tonight?
Yes, I'm sure.
Good.
Hello, Ashley. Hello. Gregory.
Hey, Allison, you want to play some catch?
Not right now. It's okay.
Well, things would be easier if I had a brother.
Yeah, that's a rough life. How was work, Ashley?
Well, it was fine. You're home kind of late. Miss Rena give you some extra work or something?
No, Rena and I went to the Top of the World Club and had a drink.
You did what?
Rena and I went to the Top of the World Club and had a drink. And then Ricky Decker joined us.
I think I like that.
Why? Ricky's a nice guy.
No. Having a drink and with Rena.
Ashley, don't you think it's about time you accept the fact that I'm working for Rena Decker?
Well, I have.
Well, then you better realize that when my boss asks me out for a drink, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. At least you were dressed for it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that dress is better suited for a bar than an office.
Happen to like this dress.
So do I, Allison.
Well, it's not something that you should wear to work in.
I will wear what I like, Ashley, and you have nothing to say about it.
Baby. That's because she wears gloves. Right, Sunshine?
Your baby's comfort begins with love.
I wonder if that's a possibility.
What?
That Mom might come here to Houston.
I don't know. I never know what she's going to do.
Well, why is she stalling for the divorce?
To get a better settlement.
You know, none of this makes any sense to me. I was off in Australia when all this happened. Never really even knew why they broke up in the first place. Brett, tell me what happened.
All right. Simple, really. Mom was, as they say, playing around.
What?
I know that's not easy to hear for the first time.
No, it's hard to believe.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble believing it myself, and then I sorted through it, and after a while I could accept it. And I had to. She's my mother.
Then why are you acting so cool toward her now?
Because she had a last affair just before the divorce, and it was with a man considerably younger than she.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. And that one did it. That really got to Dad. And she was so self-centered and so self-absorbed.
Yeah, come on. Must have been rough on you,
Well, I'm pretty resilient. But I did worry about Dad for a while.
I wish I'd have been here with you.
No, it's all right.
Hey. I'm glad you told me. It's important that I know what happened.
You know, I'm like Mom, and that might make me harder on her.
I'm gonna call Mom.
I think she's wrong, Mark. This divorce is her fault.
I can see why you think that.
And after what Dad's been through, she shouldn't drag it out like this.
We don't really know why she's doing it.
I don't care. It's not fair. Dad has a chance to be happy, and she shouldn't mess with that chance.
Right. I know that's the way it looks like. But I think I need to hear both sides. There must have been a reason for her behavior.
There you are, boy.
Ricky, how are you? Mr. Barnes, Mr. Boudreaux, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Ricky. Well, sit down, sit down. What can we get for you?
Oh, nothing, thank you. I got to work tonight.
Of course you are. He's working tonight. But you have a minute, don't you?
Sure.
Good, because we sure want to talk to you.
Well, that's good.
You weren't worried, were you?
No.
Well, good, because I tell you, Ricky, we've been as busy as a couple of hungry hogs in a cornfield these last 3 weeks.
Lots of fish to fry, son.
Yeah, but we've been thinking about you. Ain't that right, Hawker?
Yes, indeed, and thinking very seriously.
Yeah. Now, I hope you know that our not talking to you for a while was not due to any lack of interest.
Oh, not at all.
No, I understand.
All right, well, now let's get right to the point.
Absolutely. Son, we think you have a bright political future in this state.
Real bright. Now, I tell you, first of all, have you been thinking about what we discussed?
Yes, I have.
And what did you decide?
Well, I'm very interested.
I'm mighty glad to hear
knew
that.
it.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, we've been doing a little scouting around.
They're trying to see how you fit in here in Houston.
How you're perceived.
And do you know what we found out?
What?
You're a real popular fella.
Yeah, real popular. Folks say nice things about you even when you're not around.
And of course, there's that Phil Roberts show.
Yeah?
Yeah, you do an excellent job on that.
Oh, well, thank you.
You got a nice, easy style. And you're not afraid of the cameras.
Well, I'm getting used to them.
Now, that's a real asset for a political candidate. And, of course, don't hurt a bit being in the public eye already.
Not a bit. So we're both real sure that you're going to go a long, long way.
No doubt about it.
Well, I'm real glad to hear that. So, what's next?
You hear that, Hawker? What next?
Ricky, that's a good question. Now, we understand that you're thinking about making an album.
That's right.
We want you to make the best record album you can.
You're a popular fella. But a hit album, that's like icing on the cake.
Yeah?
Yeah, let all those ladies know who Ricky Decker is, that good-looking young fellow with the great voice.
But a straight shooter, someone the men can deal with.
So, you go right on ahead. You just make old Willie Nelson just quake in his boots. You just sing your heart out, boy.
And we'll take care of the politics.
Okay. But after that, isn't there something you want me to work on besides the singing?
Son, you just keep on doing what you're doing.
That's right. Just sing your heart out. You hear me? We'll let you know what to do next.
You can't go to work dressed like that.
It's none of your business what I wear, Ashley.
Listen, let me tell you something. You'd do a lot better to start listening to me a little
Matter of
bit.
fact, Rena Decker happened to compliment me on this very dress today.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, and so did Ryan Connor. Yes, some very important people disagree with you, Ashley.
I'm telling you, Allison, you're going to look like a fool if you keep going to the office dressed like a cocktail waitress.
Stop it, Ashley.
I just don't want people laughing at you.
Nobody is laughing at me. In fact, they're all pretty nice to me, except for you.
Well, obviously, none of them care enough about you to tell you the truth.
I'm 18 years old. I have my own job and my own life, and you are not going to stop me.
Where are you going? Out. What? Out where?
Wherever I please.
Allison! Allison!
Ashley!
What?
Will you stop fighting with Allison? Please!
Stay tuned for the next part of Texas. And now, the next part of Texas.
Actually, my divorce was quite civilized. My husband was quite considerate.
Really? Well, so many women find it difficult to even make ends meet.
Well, that's not my problem. I got a very, very generous settlement.
Well, I'm so relieved to hear that. And, of course, you have your investments all in order and your tax shelters all set up.
Well, I don't know.
Really?
All those money matters just kept going over my head. I get so bored with them.
Bored with money? Well, Gretchen, you have to take an interest. This is your security.
Well, I suppose I should.
Well, I don't mean to tell you what to do. I know some people tell me I'm real bossy.
No.
But when Lurleen came into a large sum of money, I did a lot for her. I told her what to do here and there and how to make investments. And finally she just said to me, Ruby, will you manage my money for me?
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I did, of course, because Lurleen is such a good friend of mine. I wanted to do what's best for her. I wanted to put her money to work for her so it would make more money.
And is it?
Of course, sure. See, I manage Ricky Decker, the big singing star, and also my brother, Billy Joe Rat, the TV personality, and I'm manager of the Coop, so all this money stuff comes real easy to me.
I don't know how you keep it straight. I keep reading those advertisements for banks in the newspaper, and I don't understand a word they're saying.
Well, Gretchen, I don't mean to alarm you or anything, but you really do need somebody to look after your financial interest.
Well, I never thought of that.
Well, if you'd like, I could run over sometime and look over your accounts.
Would you?
Sure, just to help, you know.
That seems to be asking an awful lot.
Well, that's just because you don't like it, but actually, I kind of enjoy this stuff.
Be awfully nice of you.
Oh, it's no more than you would do. Just look at it this way. You bake cakes, I'll manage money.
Come on in here, Kate. I think you'll be more comfortable.
Oh, thank you, Ricky. I really don't like waiting in a bar. Ryan's working late tonight, so we decided to meet here. I'm going to drive out to the ranch when he does.
So, how's everything going out there?
Things are not right, Ricky.
What's wrong?
It's Steve. Jenny's taken him to her family's place in Virginia. She just felt she ought to get him away for a while.
Is he sick?
No.
Kate, I don't understand.
Well, there's a lot I don't understand. Steve and Jenny and I were heading back to the ranch in the pickup. Steve spotted something lying off to the side of the road, so we stopped and got out to investigate. Ricky, it was a body.
A body?
It was worse than that. It looked like a mummy or something. I just couldn't make out what it was. Poor Steve, he just couldn't stop talking.
You said it looked like a mummy?
Well, that's the way I'd describe it. The sheriff said he'd never seen anything like it either.
Is that all he said?
Well, he just couldn't make out what it was, and he said he wanted to keep it quiet until he knows more. You see, that's why Jenny took Steve to Virginia. With his talking, he could have attracted the press out here.
Kate, what do you mean it looked like a mummy?
It was horrible. It looked decayed and old. You know, they can't even make out who it was.
And you just saw it on the road on the way back to the ranch?
It was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Allison Linden and I, we had drinks at the Top of the World Club. She's doing such a wonderful job for us, and she's so eager that... Would you notice it if I started repeating the farm report?
What?
You're a million miles away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rena. That won't happen again.
Well, it better not.
Now, you were telling me about Allison.
Yes, I was saying what a good job she's done for us.
Good.
I'm glad we're having dinner here tonight. You know, when I was driving over here, I was wondering what wonderful thing Vivian might be preparing for us tonight.
You want me to go ask her?
Grant, is something wrong?
I did it again, didn't I? No, nothing is wrong. Not as long as you're here. When you're here, it's as if you've always belonged.
Another world where
passions run deep.
I never loved any woman the way I love you.
And hearts are won by schemers.
You remember what it was like to be in bed with me, don't you?
This week on Another World, Diana and Pete succumb to their love and make plans to elope. Another World, this week on NBC.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I don't like it when you two fight.
I don't either.
You don't like Allison that much, do you?
I guess it does seem that way sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Of course I like Allison. I love her very much.
Then why do you fight with her all the time?
Because I do love her. And see, I see her do all these things. I just want to tell her that she's making a mistake.
Do you like it when people are telling you you're making a mistake?
No.
Neither do I.
And neither does Allison.
I don't think so.
Well, you're a very perceptive young man.
I know. Ashley?
What?
I think you should use some psychology.
Psychology?
Yeah, no one's going to get anywhere telling Allison what to do.
Well, I sure haven't.
You know what I do when I want her to do something? I try to make her think that it's her own idea.
Does it work?
Sometimes. But sometimes it doesn't work.
I tell you what, Doctor. Very interesting. I'll think about it.
Of course you'll think about it. I'm a very perceptive young man. Ashley?
What?
I hate shouting and fighting.
We'll do better.
Thank you.
I want you to remember something, though, Gregory. I do love Allison. And if I slip, it's because I care. Okay?
Okay. Sometimes she does get on your nerves.
Oh, I love you.
May I help you?
Yeah, is this Rita Decker's house?
Yes, it is.
I'm Allison Linden. I work with Rena over at World Oil, and I was wondering if I could talk to her.
Oh, yes, Rena's spoken of you, but I'm sorry. I'm afraid she's out for the evening. I'm Victoria Bellman. I'm Rena's mother.
Hi. Would you tell her that, oh, never mind.
Is something wrong?
No, I just wanted to talk to Rena.
Oh, well, wouldn't you like to come in for a while, Allison?
Well, I don't want to impose on you.
No, not at all. Please, come in. I was just about to have a cup of tea. Won't you join me?
Yeah, thank you. I'd like that. Oh, what a beautiful room.
Thank you. Allison, I don't mean to pry, but I've seldom seen a sadder face than when I opened that door.
Oh, I'm fine, Mrs. Bellman, really.
Oh, please, call me Vicky.
Vicky? No, I just wanted to talk to Rena. Maybe I ought to go.
Well, only if you want to. I have a feeling something's bothering you, and I'm a very good listener. Why don't you tell me what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I'm miserable.
Jan, it's been a busy night so far.
Really?
All sorts of people have been here. Let's see, Rena and Allison dropped in for a drink, and I saw Hawker and Boots. Kate was in the dining room earlier. And of course, last but certainly not least, you're here. Is something wrong?
Miles.
Now what?
Ricky, I just can't accept the fact that he has shut me out, that he won't let me help him.
It seems to me that that's his option.
I think he's in real danger. He told me as much, and now I have no idea what he's up to.
I think you're thinking about it too much.
Too much? He's all alone. He's holed up in that crummy hotel room, and he's risking his life for this fire compass.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not for days. That's why he could be in big trouble, and I wouldn't even know about it.
You know, a lot of strange things have been happening since that guy showed up.
What do you mean?
Well, High Toe Pa, this whole thing, and all these warnings, and now this thing that happened out at the Marshall Ranch.
What? What happened?
Well, Kate was here earlier, and, well, she said while they were driving on the road back to the ranch, they saw something along the side of the road, so they stopped. It turned out to be a body.
Whose body?
Well, that's the thing. They don't know because it was so odd looking. Kate said it looked like a mummy.
What?
Now, I know it sounds strange, but that's what she said. She said that it looked like a mummy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Got to write out the whole High Toe Pa legend. The entire Sutar curse, so if anything happens to me... Got to know about the pellet in the fire compass, the gas of Sutar's curse, and the old prospector's cabin near the mouth of High Toe Pa Cavern. I've got to describe the location and how to use the fire compass. I've got to tell everything about High Toe Pa before it's too late.
I've been a terrible host, haven't I?
What's troubling you?
Oh, I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Business? Maybe I can help you out.
No. I'm going to put it in the back of my mind. I'm going to concentrate just on you. That's my great pleasure in life.
Promise you're not going to drift off again.
Well, not as long as we have a very interesting topic of conversation.
Oh, like, what?
You. And all the time we're going to spend together, and all the places we're going to see together.
Now, that's my kind of conversation. You know, you really should see some of the other parts of Texas. There's beauty here that you can't imagine, Grant.
Oh, I want to see all of them. If you'll be my guide.
Deal. I'm very good at that, you know.
All right. Now, where is the most romantic spot in Texas?
Why do you want to know that?
Because I want to see it first.
Oh, you do?
Yes. On the other hand, we may not have to go anywhere.
No?
This is a pretty romantic spot.
That's because your decorator is so brilliant.
Yes. I'm crazy about my decorator.
And so you're lonely?
Yeah, I feel like a stranger here in Houston.
Why?
Well, everyone I really know is far away.
Well, what about Ashley and Justin?
What about them?
They are your family.
It's so hard to live with Ashley.
Oh, you don't get along?
Oh, she's always on my back.
It must be difficult for the both of you.
Oh, Ashley seems to do just fine.
I imagine she's just very concerned about you.
Maybe. I don't have any friends here, and, there's no man in my life.
Oh. Well, Allison, you are a very attractive young lady, and I'm sure once the boys know that you're here, they're going to be beating a path to your door.
I don't like boys.
No?
No. They're too shallow.
I see.
You see, I spent a lot of time traveling and seeing a lot of things, and I don't get along very well with people my own age. And most of the interesting men are married.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Allison, you haven't been in Houston very long.
Oh, it feels like ages.
You're going through a big transition, and that can be difficult. You feel very alone. And I know loneliness can be hard to deal with.
Well, you're not lonely, are you?
Sometimes. My husband is away right now.
But you have your job. That must be so fascinating.
Well, that's true, and I love my work, but well, it's no substitute for the rest of my life.
I know what you mean. I mean, I can go to work and forget my troubles, but sure doesn't make them go away.
Well, I know exactly how you feel.
You do? You feel like that?
Mm-hmm. We have a lot in common.
Really?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm very glad Rena wasn't home tonight. Let me make a new friend.
I'd like to be your friend.
Good. I was feeling a little bit down myself tonight. And now, well, when either one of us feel low, we know that we can call and we have someone to talk to. Someone who understands.
Oh, thank you so much.
Let's have another cup of tea. Huh?
Oh, hi, Gretchen.
Hi, Lily.
Glad you're still here.
How are you? Well, I'll tell you, I think I've just talked Ruby's ear off.
Oh, I got a few words in there, Edgewise.
I thought you two would get along.
Like a house on fire. Where have you
right.
been?
Oh, I had to run some errands.
I know, I better go now.
Oh,
Thank you for the coffee.
Gretchen, wait a second. I wanted you to see this. I had it framed.
That's really striking. It's
That
lovely.
looks great, Lily. Thank you.
Now, look, I better be running, so I'll see you all later.
Okay.
Bye, Gretchen. Bye-bye, Ruby.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Lily.
Ruby, what would you think if I hung this right here by the door?
That'd be just fine, honey.
You know, that puzzle made us a real nice little picture and didn't cost us a thing.
The whole high topar legend's written now. When she gets it, she'll know it all so she can follow it through if...
Stay tuned. Texas will be right back.
What else did Kate say?
She said it was really horrible and she'd never seen anything like it.
And they don't know who the body is?
No.
Ricky, you've got to find out more. I think this might have something to do with the fire compass.
What do you mean?
Well, Miles said that they would kill for it. And if the secret got out, that the death would be really horrible.
Oh. I'll see what I can find out.
Thanks.
Is that straight?
Yeah, it looks straight to me.
It's real nice, isn't it?
You know, at first I thought this was a really weird idea. But I think it looks great.
I'm glad you like it.
You got good taste, Lurleen. And you're real artistic, too.
Thank you. Ruby, what do you think this thing is?
I don't know.
You know, I think this space is a piece missing.
Yeah, maybe it is.
This part of Texas was brought to you by Spick and Span. Spick and Span. It helps your floor show its true colors. Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Now for the local forecast.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.
late to cancel breakfast?
You're not going to drive into work without eating, are you?
Yeah, I got a little work to do this morning.
All the more reason for you to sit down and have a good breakfast. You just sit right here. I'll have it ready in...
You are really in a good mood this morning, aren't you?
I have reason to be.
Oh? Why's that?
Rusty's back.
Yes, when did he get back?
About an hour ago. They let him out of the hospital this morning.
Well, how's he feeling? Kate, is it too late to cancel breakfast?
You're not going to drive into work without eating, are you?
Yeah, I got a little work to do this morning.
All the more reason for you to sit down and have a good breakfast. You just sit right here. I'll have it ready in...
You are really in a good mood this morning, aren't you?
I have reason to be.
Oh? Why's that?
Rusty's back.
Yes, when did he get back?
About an hour ago. They let him out of the hospital this morning.
Well, how's he feeling?
Oh, says he feels like new, and he's raring to go back to work.
Oh, I'm sure
Of course, he'll have to take it easy for a while.
Makes me feel a lot better that he's back.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah, I just haven't liked the idea of you being out on the ranch here alone every day.
Well, now, why should that worry you?
Well, it's all these strange things that have been going on around here.
Oh, now, Ryan, don't you worry about me. There are plenty of hands out here to look after me if I need it. Did you talk to Jenny this morning?
Yeah, a little while ago. They got there safe and sound, and her folks picked them up at the airport.
Mm-hmm. How's Steve feeling?
Ah, he's great.
Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a chance to talk to Jenny before she left?
About what?
Well, about this Miles Rehnquist business. I'm just wondering if... Ryan, is it going to be all right between you and Jenny?
Here at this hour.
Good morning, Vivian. Is Brett up yet?
No, she isn't, but I'll come and get her. You come on in. Miss Wheeler! Is that Ricky? Yes, it is. He's here to see you.
Oh, I didn't expect you this early.
Well, you said last night you wanted to get an early start today.
Oh, Ricky, I really appreciate you taking... Did you want something, Vivian?
Just wanted to know what you wanted for breakfast.
Oh, I'm not going to eat this morning.
You can't go out without eating, Miss Wheeler. It isn't good for you.
Well, I'll get something on the way.
No, you won't do that. Now, just let me fix you something. It's going to take just a minute.
I'm not hungry, Vivian.
You cannot go trotting all over the countryside on an empty stomach.
Toast and coffee.
And bacon and eggs. Now, fix something.
Okay.
Persistent, isn't she?
I don't know why I try arguing with her. I never win. Listen, I do appreciate you taking me there, though, to Marshall Village.
You know, I would do just about anything to find out what's going on around here.
Well, I hope we get some answers.
Well, don't hold your breath. We may run into some more dead ends.
Nope, not if I can help it.
What are you doing?
I'm giving Miles one more call, just in case.
Well, what if he's not in yet?
Well, then that means getting to Marshall Village is just that much more important.
Okay, thank you. Well?
Got Rehnquist out of jail last night.
Good. Where is he now?
He went to his hotel room, and he hasn't left since he got there.
You're sure he's still there?
Yes, sir. He couldn't leave without one of us seeing him.
You better be sure, Adams. You lose him again, it's your neck on the chopping block.
Still not there.
part of Texas is brought to you by Oxidol. Oxidol bleaches as it washes. For white so white, they'll actually compare to new.
We'd like to do business with you, Mr. Preston, but unless you come down in price, I'm afraid it's out of the question. 1 second, please. Grant, don't leave. I'll just be a second. I'm sorry, I'm back. Yes, I understand what you're saying, but the geological surveys that we received don't indicate that it's worth that much. I'll tell you what you do. Why don't you give it some thought and then call me back when you've come to a decision? Okay. Bye. Hi. What can I do for you?
Not a thing.
Oh.
I just came here to say good morning.
Good morning. Is that all?
No. I also came here to apologize for last night.
Oh, I don't think that's needed. I had a wonderful time.
Well, so did I, but I think I was a terrible host.
Am I complaining? Besides, I thought last night ended on a splendid note.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I know so.
I'm glad.
I just hope that whatever was on your mind has resolved itself.
Well, not really, but I'm feeling a little better about it.
Good.
I was also wondering if I could make up for the first part of last night by taking you to lunch today.
Darn. Mom is coming by, and we're supposed to go out to lunch and then do a little shopping. Can we make it another time?
Sure. Tomorrow.
All right. I'll keep it open.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's one other thing I want to ask you.
What's that?
Have you heard from your father?
No, I haven't. Do you need to reach him?
Yeah. He used to get some information on Boudreaux and Hawker Barnes for me. I thought you might possibly know when he is coming back.
No, I don't. And to tell you the truth, I'm worried about Daddy. He's been gone for quite a while, and he hasn't even bothered to call. That's not like Daddy.
Well, has he been in touch with your mother?
I'll find out when I see her.
Oh, calendar, pencil, lunch tomorrow.
Get out. Bye.
Everything's going to be fine between Ginny and me, Kate. Don't worry.
I'm glad, because I've worried about both of you.
I know, and I appreciate it, too.
Mm-hmm. You know, you and Ginny never really have had a chance. First you went off to Venezuela, and then you got back here and found Miles Rehnquist, and now Ginny's gone off to Virginia.
Yeah, it sure doesn't sound very ideal, does it? But everything's going to work out real fine, I promise you.
Well, that makes me feel better. I just wish you could have gone with her.
Well, I wish I could have, too, but with Stryker gone right now, it's impossible. Besides, I think Ginny needs, a little time to herself and to try to get everything back into perspective.
Yeah. It'll be good for Steve, too.
Well, I sure hope so. I just haven't liked the idea of him talking to the wrong people about finding that body.
Sheriff was afraid of that, too. He didn't want the newspaper people to find out. He didn't want them coming out here asking Steve questions and pestering us.
Or interfering with the investigation, too.
You know, as nice a man as Miles Rehnquist was, I still wish he'd never shown his face on this ranch.
Well, I do, too, but what happened, and that's it, isn't it?
Mm. How do you feel about him now?
Well, I think that Miles is an honest man. And I don't think he meant to come between Ginny and me.
Yes, that's what he told me. I believe him.
So do I. So right now, we have nothing to worry about because he's gone and Ginny's in Virginia.
There's something else bothering you, though, isn't there, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Miles has anything to do with the body that Steve found.
Where could he be at this hour?
Having breakfast?
It's not funny, Ricky.
Sorry, I'm just trying to loosen you up a little bit.
Please.
Okay, so now what?
Now we go out to Marshall Village, because I want to talk to Kate.
Well, I already told you pretty much everything she told me.
Well, I still want to talk to her, because you might have forgotten something. And then, maybe we can get a look at that body.
What for?
Well, to see if it ties in with what Miles was telling us. So do you Think you can get us into that morgue to see it?
Maybe. I know the sheriff.
Well, good, because then we can talk to him and see what he knows about it.
Breakfast, you guys.
Oh, Vivian, we don't have time to sit
Now,
down.
Miss Wheeler, just concentrate on physical nourishment, just for a change.
Yeah, well, we gotta go.
Come on, these are really delicious. Where are you going?
I'll call you later.
What am I going to tell your father? Supposing your father calls here, and then you're not even here for me to tell him where you've gone. And I can't tell him where you've gone.
Don't worry, Mr. H. There won't be any slip-ups.
There better not be.
If he tries to leave that hotel room, we'll stick to him like fly paper.
Well, just be aware, he probably knows we're watching him. He knows where that fire compass is, I'm sure of it. He'll do everything possible to elude you.
He won't be able to this time.
We've got to find that fire compass.
We will.
And one more thing, Adams.
What's that, sir?
Once you found the fire compass, we won't need Mr. Rehnquist anymore. He'll just be in the way.
Don't worry, Mr. H. Rehnquist is as good as taken care of.
Yes. Oh, send her right in.
Hello, Grant.
Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Just fine. I thought I'd stop by and say hi. Just left Rena's office. She's still tied up in a meeting. We're having lunch today.
Yes, I know. I got turned down because of you.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. You were first on her schedule.
She certainly is very busy these days, isn't she?
Yes, she is. She's doing a fine job. I'm very pleased with it. How about you? How are things at KVIK?
Everything's wonderful. The Billy Joe Wright Show is doing just fine. And the Phil Roberts Show has picked up greatly in the ratings since Ricky Decker is substituted for Phil.
I like Ricky. He seems like a very talented fellow.
Oh, yes, he is.
And Brett tells me that he may be in line for his own show.
Yes, and with the good ratings that he's getting, it may happen very soon.
Vicky, I'm glad you stopped by because I want to ask you something.
Ask away.
I've been trying to get in touch with Stryker for quite some time, and I've had no luck. Now, have you been in touch with him?
Well, no, but his office has a number in Mexico where you can reach him.
Well, yeah, I know that, Vicky, but I've called him several times, and he's never answered any of them.
Oh, well, Stryker is on the move a lot down there, and he doesn't always check in.
I know that, but it's not characteristic of him to have so much time in between checking in, is it?
No, it isn't. But I'm sure Stryker has a very good reason for not returning your calls, and I'll know more about it as soon as I talk to him.
Vicky, is there anything wrong?
No, I don't think so. Well, Grant, I don't want to take any more of your time. I just wanted to say hi, and good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you. We'll have lunch sometime, Vicky.
I hope so.
All
Soon.
Right. I'll call you.
I'm coming. John,
Hi, Vivian.
what's going on here this morning?
What do you mean?
Why are you ringing the front doorbell?
Well, I need a favor.
What kind of a favor?
I need to borrow some money for the taxi cab.
What?
Yeah, I need to borrow $10 so I can pay the driver.
What happened?
I'll explain that when I get back, okay? Can I borrow the money? Come on. All right.
That enough?
Yeah, that'll be enough. Thanks a lot. I'll be right back. Thanks, Vivian. I'll pay you back tomorrow.
Never mind about that. What were you doing coming home in a taxi? What happened to Mr. Wheeler's car?
Well, there's been a problem.
What sort of problem?
The car is in a body shop.
In a body shop? What for?
Well, the front end needs a little fixing.
Why?
It's been smashed in.
How?
I had an accident.
An accident?
Yeah.
Well, are you all right?
I'm fine, but I'm afraid Mr. Wheeler's car isn't doing so well. I had to tow it away.
Oh, dear.
Is this your fault?
The policeman said it was.
Oh, John, I thought you were doing so well with that correspondence course for driving and mechanics.
I was.
Well, what happened?
Well, it didn't say anything about a junk truck suddenly stopping in front of me to make a left turn. Guess this means I'm going to get fired now, doesn't it?
Oh, hi, Mom. I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, don't worry about it, honey. Business comes first.
I just, will be a minute here. I've got a few things to check first.
All right, no rush.
Didn't expect to see you home?
I forgot the budget reports.
That doesn't sound like you. All right, honey.
Fine. Stryker, what are you doing here?
I had some things I had to pick up.
Why didn't you call?
I didn't want to upset you.
Upset me?
Well, I knew that when I got here I wasn't going to have any time. You'd be down at the station. There was no chance to see you.
You weren't even going to call?
I just didn't want to rile everything up.
I don't understand.
Well, I had no idea when the plane was going to get here, and I know as soon as it got here I was going to have to take off again.
I see.
As a matter of fact, the plane's waiting for me right now. I got to run.
Stryker, is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just so darn busy, but everything's fine. I'm sorry to give you a start like this. Now, you give my love to Rena.
I will.
Thank you. I knew you'd understand. Take care, here.
You too, Stryker.
Grant wanted to have me ask you about reaching Daddy.
Oh, no, I've already talked to Grant about your father.
Oh, what did you tell him?
Not much. I didn't have any answers.
You mean you still haven't heard from Daddy?
No, honey, I haven't.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, he's never been away this long without calling.
That's true.
Mama, you and I have got to have a little talk.
About what?
About you.
Me?
Yes. Now, is something wrong?
No, why should anything be wrong?
That's exactly what I want to know. Mama, you've hardly been yourself lately.
Oh, Rena, don't be silly. I'm fine.
Are you sure? You sure everything's all right?
And two, and I've got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
The fever for the flavor of a Pringles?
It's the deep fried taste. It's the crispy crunch. And the Pringles please, I need a bunch. We've got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
It's the deep fried taste.
It's the crispy crunch. We've got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
No preservatives, regular light rippled.
You'll catch the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Dear, you're using the wrong machine to soften clothes.
Liquids go in the washer, Mom.
Bounce works in the dryer.
My clothes are soft.
I love Bounce's softness.
My liquid controls static cling.
Bounce controls it better, and my clothes smell fresh longer. I am fine, Rena. Really.
Don't seem fine. You're very tense.
Well, you're making me tense with all these questions. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to get off the subject.
Mama, you
Rena,
got to...
please.
I'm going to try to call Daddy.
Rena, no. Don't do that. Please. Allison Linden came by the house last night to talk to you.
Why did she want to see me?
She said she was feeling very lonely and she needed someone to talk to.
That's odd, isn't it? She's got family right here in Houston. Justin, Ashley, her cousin Gregory.
Well, obviously she doesn't get along with Ashley. She wanted to talk to you.
I see.
She looked so disappointed when I Told her that you weren't home, so I invited her in. We had some tea and a nice long talk.
About her being lonely?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's very lost and alone. She hasn't made any friends here in Houston, and the boys that she's met seem very shallow to her, and, well, she's very well traveled, and her interests are much wider than people her own age.
Well, I know that she's a very sophisticated young lady. I just didn't realize that she was having trouble adjusting here.
She is.
Well, it's going to change, Mama.
Oh, why do you think things are going to get better?
Because she's working here, she's going to start meeting people, and the work will keep her busy.
Rena, work isn't everything, especially when your personal life is empty. When a person is lonely, they need someone to turn to, someone to talk to. Work is no substitution for a friend.
I'm sure she's aware of that, Mama.
I like Allison. She's, well, and she admires you so much. I hope you'll be a friend to her.
I'll talk to her. Thank you for telling me. Shall we?
Right. So, Kate, this body was just lying there in the road?
Oh, no, it wasn't exactly in the road. It was lying off to the side of it, and we couldn't tell it was a body.
What do you mean?
Well, it was covered up with burlap sacks. We had no way of knowing it was a body until Steve pulled one of the sacks off. Oh, that poor little boy to have had to see that.
What did the body look like?
It was horrible. I hate to even think of it.
Okay, please. I know this is not easy for you, but it could be very important.
All right. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. The face looked like it had been laying out there in the sun for a long time. It was all dry and wrinkled and caved in. The skin looked like there was nothing under it. You could almost see the skull through it. Looked like a mummy to me.
You don't have to say any more, Kate. I think that's all we need to know.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. You've been very helpful. Who else knows about finding the body?
Oh, just the family here at the ranch. The Hands don't even know. The sheriff didn't want anybody to know about it until he'd gotten to the bottom of it.
Well, then the sheriff doesn't know how it got in the road.
Not yet.
Does he have any information at all?
Well, if he does, he hasn't told me. But I have my own theories about it.
What kind of theories?
Well, I have a feeling that this and everything else that's been going on here at the ranch has something to do with Miles Rehnquist being here.
Why do you think that?
Well, in the first place, he's being so secretive and mysterious. And just as soon as he got here, all kinds of things began to happen. The trouble with Ginny and Ryan, and then that little boy Gregory getting lost. And then the new ranch hand disappeared.
What new ranch hand?
Disappeared?
The one I sent to look for Gregory.
Wait, was this before or after Miles left the ranch?
Well, it was just before. Because I remember saying goodbye to Ashley and Justin as they were taking Gregory back into town. And he'd come by to apologize and tell me he was leaving. We managed to straighten out some of our differences. But just before he left, he acted very strange.
Why do you say strange?
Well, I was just telling him about little Gregory being lost. And I told him about the Indian puzzle.
Indian puzzle?
Yes. The one that Steve traded Gregory for the racing car. And then Steve traded that racing car to Buddy Jr. And then when little Gregory came back out here to try to get it, I told him that, and he took off to the Colemans. He saw the racing car on the porch, and he left the puzzle there in its place. Then Wanda found the puzzle later and brought it back here. I put it over there on the windowsill. I was going to show it to Miles Rehnquist, and when I got there, it was gone. It was right after that he took off like a shot.
Thank you, Kate. You have been very helpful.
I think we better get out to Marshall Village and talk to the sheriff. Maybe he knows something more about this body.
Oh, well, you'll call me if you find out anything.
Oh, we sure will. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kate.
Oh, hi, Allison. Is Rena around?
No, you just missed her. She went out to lunch with her mother.
Oh, she came over to pick up a project she wanted me to work on.
Well, what is it? Maybe I can find it for you.
It's the Peterson-Forbes project.
Right here.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
That was real quick. Thank you. Not bad.
Thank you.
Please tell Rena I came by, all right?
Okay.
See ya.
Ryan? Were you serious about what you said the other day?
About what?
About helping me learn more about the oil business?
Oh, sure.
Well, good. Because, I find my job here fascinating. And, I want to learn as much as I can. And I've been thinking about our talk, and I think that you could give me insight into the oil business that no one else can.
Well, I don't know about that, but I sure be happy to help you.
Good. 'Cause there's a lot I need to learn. And, I want to do the best I can here. Are you sure it won't take up too much of your time?
No.
Good. Well, then you'll be seeing a lot of me.
Okay, if you want any help from me, you just call.
What about now? You'd have to rush back to your office?
No.
Well, maybe you can start teaching me now then.
There's still time, that it's not too late.
Stay tuned for the next part of Texas. And now, the next part of Texas.
So I was there, I think, almost 6 months.
That's amazing.
What is?
That we could have been in the same place at the same time and not even known it.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah, we could have passed on the street and not even and seen each other.
Small world, huh?
Yeah. You're a lot of fun to talk to.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a good time.
Well, I'm having a good time, too, except we really haven't talked much about the oil business.
Oh, that's okay. We can talk about that next time, maybe.
Okay.
At least, we've gotten to know each other better, and I think we learned something.
What's that?
We have a lot in common. I mean, we both traveled a lot, even to some of the same places, and we both like it and like to talk about it.
Yeah, I do like to talk about traveling. It's funny, I haven't talked about my travels in a long time.
Well, any other places you've been to that you liked?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, right now I'm working on some contracts with this firm down in Saudi Arabia. I've been down there a couple of times, and it's funny, I've been thinking about this one place lately.
Riyadh?
Don't tell me you've been there, too.
Yeah, sure. It's too hot for me, though. 120 in the shade. Some nice sights there, though. When you were there, did you visit Mecca or Medina?
Mecca, as a matter of fact, I was there when they had the riots at the Great Mosque.
Really? It must have been fascinating.
No, scary is more like it.
Well, did you actually get to the place where they were rioting?
Alice, a long time ago, I learned to keep my nose out of other people's business. Now, speaking of business, I got to get back to the office. Everybody's going to be wondering where I am.
Oh, thanks for talking to me, Ryan.
Anytime.
You know, I get the feeling that now when we talk about business, we'll have as much fun as we do when we talk about our travels.
I'm sure we will.
Ryan? There's something else I want you to know.
Oh, what's that?
You're the main reason I like working at World Oil.
I am?
Yeah.
Well, thanks. You're real nice.
It's not all I am.
Howdy, Hannibal. Glad you could take the time to see us.
Well, you boys know I'm always willing to see you.
Sure. Yeah, but it ain't always that easy to get a hold of you.
Your drinks are on the mantel.
Thank you kindly. Interesting how you always manage to clear out this room before you meet us here.
Well, I do like privacy.
Well, who doesn't? There's nothing like privacy when you're important conversation. And the bourbon you sprang for ain't too bad neither. Always the best.
What you boys want to talk to me about?
Well, sir, we want to talk a little politics. And a little oil.
What about them?
Well, you know how we operate, Hannibal. We're kind of independent. We scratch your back. You scratch ours. We do you a favor. But you know all that, don't you?
What are you boys getting at?
Well, if we're going to do business with you, then you got to be a little more upfront with us. Let us know exactly where you stand.
On what?
Well, a while back, you led us to believe that you were interested in backing a little political campaign that we were promoting. If we found the right candidate. And then the last time we met, you sort of pulled in your horns.
You got a good one for me?
Good possibility we have. We were wondering if you're going to put your money where your mouth is.
Let's discuss your candidate.
Oh, no. Now, let's not rush into things, partner. We have to get everything lined up first. But we do have a prime candidate in mind. He's young. Good looking. Yeah, a lot of charisma. Knows all about TV. Great visibility. Well known, too. And he's clean. Clean as a fresh shaved cheek. Now, there's not a hint of scandal with him. You interested?
I'm interested, but...
But what?
I'm involved in something that requires all my attention. That's why I couldn't give you a commitment before.
Well, shoot, man. Now, why didn't you say so in the first place? We understand that sort of thing. You don't have to commit yourself right now. Tell you what, Hannibal. What say we give you a while to think this over some more? Yeah, there's no rush. You just give us the answer when you're ready.
I appreciate that. And believe me, when I'm ready, I'll give you full backing.
Well, now that sounds fair enough to me. How about you, Hawker? All right with me. Well, then, that's all settled. Now let's talk oil. Right. Specifically World Oil and Marshall Oil.
Well, that sheriff friend wasn't much help.
I don't understand why he was stonewalling me. He's never done that before.
Well, maybe like Kate said, he just wants to keep a lid on the whole thing.
Yeah, but I used to work for the man. I was his deputy. It's not like him to treat me like this.
Ricky, I don't like this whole thing. What are we going to do?
I'm not sure. You know, this thing keeps getting stranger and stranger. But we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Well, how do you suggest we do that?
Only one thing to do.
What?
Try and get in there without anybody knowing about it.
Enter another world where passions run deep.
I never loved anyone the way I love you.
And hearts are won by schemers.
You remember what it was like to be in bed with me, don't you?
This week on Another World, Diana and Pete succumb to their love and make plans to elope. Another World, this week on NBC.
I wish you wouldn't do that, John. You're making me nervous.
Well, I'm sorry, Vivian, but I'm worried. I just know I'm going to get fired because of this accident.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No, not if I can help it.
How can you be so
I
sure?
don't want you to get fired.
Why not?
You know.
I do?
I'm responsible for you. I'm the one who picked you out.
Oh.
I thought you were the best of the lot.
Well, that's wonderful, Vivian. No one's ever picked me out before.
Oh, don't go getting so happy about it, because frankly, there have been a couple of times when I was sorry I did.
Well, that makes me feel bad.
You know, for somebody who's supposed to be a genius, you can do some of the most incredibly dumb things
I know,
sometimes.
I can't help it. But I try.
I know you do. If I didn't think you did, I wouldn't waste my time with you.
Well, I appreciate that, Vivian. I really do.
go hear some Mozart.
You're crazy. You know that?
So are you. You know that? Did you really hit a junk truck?
Yeah. What are we going to tell Mr. Wheeler about the car?
We're going to have to convince him that it wasn't your fault.
How are we going to do that?
I have no idea. But I'm thinking about this.
Yeah, well, I hope you think up something good, Vivian. It better be convincing.
We've been bird dogging around. World Oil, Marshall Oil are locked in a race to beat each other out.
I know that.
Well, since you might be doing us a favor, we were thinking we could do you one.
How?
We could see to it that you could make a tidy profit from whichever company you like.
What do you got in mind?
Well, we're fixing to make the competition a little more interesting.
Like playing one company against the other.
Yeah, we'll be collecting IOUs from both of them for a little bit of help.
And since oil and politics are linked in these parts...
And since you might be financing our political campaign...
We might see to it that you make something on this oil deal.
That's thoughtful of you boys.
Well, like we said, favor for favor.
Now, if you felt partial to one of them companies, which would it be?
Marshall Oil.
Pretty good choice, eh, Hawker?
Right, good choice. Yeah. Who said Justin Marshall's a comer?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll give you a few more days to think over your decision about committing yourself to our political campaign.
You make a commitment, and we'll fix it so Marshall Oil gets the better of World Oil.
Sound fair enough to you?
Sounds more than fair. And in a few more days, I don't see any reason why I can't give you a full commitment.
Nice having this little chat, Hannibal.
Yeah, once we get all the cards on the table, we'll know how to play them.
Be seeing you in a few days.
So, how do we get in there without anyone finding?
Not we, me.
What? Ricky, I'm going in there to see that body.
I'm going in there alone. Now, I know my way around here, and you don't.
Ricky, you're here because of me, so you can't keep me out of it.
We're going to do it my way, Brett, or we're not going to do it.
Yeah, and what do you expect me to do while you're prowling around in there?
You can go back over to the coop and wait for me there.
I won't do it.
Then let's forget it. Two of us can't do this without arousing suspicion.
All right, I'll wait for you at the coop. You better not fail.
I won't. Now get out of here so I can get in there and find out what's going on. Come on. Hi, Grant. Ryan, do we have a meeting?
No, I just had to pick up something at Rena's. I was on my way back to my office. Thought I'd drop in.
Oh, good. I was afraid I had forgotten off my calendar there. Well, I understand you're going to be a bachelor for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. Ginny took Steve with her to visit her folks in Virginia.
This meeting came up rather sudden, didn't it?
No, really. Ginny had been thinking about doing it for quite some time. Figured now was as good a time as any.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Well, if you get lonely, come on out to the house and I'll feed you.
Well, thanks, but Kate's out there all by herself. I'd feel a little uneasy if I left her alone there at night.
Okay, the invitation stands if you change your mind.
Yeah, appreciate it. Grant, listen, I want to ask you something.
Sure, what?
What's your opinion of Allison Linden?
Allison?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from the few times I've seen her, she seems a nice enough girl. She does her work. Rena tells me she learns very quickly, and she is responsible for the Osterleases.
Yeah, they're paying off real well, aren't they?
They sure are. That was a big plus for World Oil. But I'm a little puzzled about that.
Why?
Why did you bring him here? Why not to Marshall Oil?
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Why?
Well, I just had a talk with Allison, and she strikes me as a very independent young woman, and she seems determined to be a success here at World Oil. And I'm sure that's real bad news for Justin.
So I'm sure it is. I may have a little more bad news for Justin.
What's that?
Well, Mark and I had a conversation with Hawker Barnes and Boots Boudreaux, trying to enlist their help for World Oil.
Well, it sounds good. You think you can do it?
I think it's possible. I'm going to discuss that with Rena this afternoon.
Good. I hope it works out.
So do I. We need those guys on our side.
Right. Listen, I've got to go. It's real good talking to you, okay?
Well, it's good talking to you. And be sure to remember, come on out to the house. Awful lot of food out there. Nobody beat it.
Well, did you have a nice lunch with your mother?
Very nice, thank you. Mama said that you came by the house last night.
Yeah, I was looking for you, but you had already left, so she invited me in. You have a wonderful mother, Rena.
Thank you. I think she's wonderful, too. Allison? Mm-hmm. She told me some things that disturbed me.
What things?
I thought you and I were going to be friends.
We are.
Well, then why did you wait until last night to try to tell me about how you're feeling?
Well, I didn't want to bother you until it...
Nonsense. What do you think friends are for unless you can go to them when you're lonely?
I guess it didn't really hit me that hard until last night.
Honey?
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to change for you now that you're working for me.
I know that, Rena. You and everyone else here have been so nice to me. I already feel a lot better.
Are you still having problems with Justin and Ashley?
Well, Justin's been okay since we had our little talk. Ashley and I don't think we're ever going to get along. She's still upset that I'm working here. But don't think that I'm going to let that interfere with how I do at World Oil. Now, I love my job here, and I intend to be as good at it as you are at yours.
You really mean that, don't you?
With all my heart.
Late lunch?
Yep. Everybody else is out to lunch. Might as well take mine.
Stay tuned. Texas will be right back.
Lasagna feels like lead in my stomach. It's because of your fault, Well, just stop your complaining.
Oh, we gotta get this work done now, and if we don't, we'll be here all night.
I know.
Well, we might as well start on that body that came in this morning.
This part of Texas was brought to you by delicious mountain-grown Folgers coffee. Mountain-grown coffees, the richest, most aromatic kind of coffee there is.
Tomorrow night, NBC Magazine looks at shopping center security guards. Are they physically abusing customers? And a look at how modern medical techniques may influence the decision to abort. And an interview with Mickey Spillane. Then McLean's fellow officers are held hostage when gunmen turn the precinct into a fortress on McLean's Law. James Arnett stars. And Cassie links a murder to a lady millionaire. Angie Dickinson is the world's sexiest private eye in Cassie and Company. Tomorrow on NBC.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Weather Service Office at Detroit Metropolitan Airport.
This part part of another world was brought to you by dark, rich, sparkling Folgers Crystals, the coffee that tastes as rich as it looks.
Sunday night, it's Doug Henning's World of Magic with never-before-seen spectacular illusions and magical appearances by Billy Crystal, Ann Jillian, Bruce Jenner, and the Rams cheerleaders. Then on Chips, Punch and John tangle with some foxy thieves, and it's every man for himself. And what happens when three guys who can't even load a gun decide to rob a bank? George Burns, Art Carney, and Lee Strasberg star in Going in Style, a comedy to steal your heart. First time on television, Sunday on NBC.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.
Watch 4.
Suzanne Summers joins Johnny Carson after News 4 tonight.
Is being played by Michael Woods.
There we go, Dan. Thank you, son. Fred, you're looking awful serious. Is there anything wrong?
No. But I did want to talk to you about the divorce.
I see. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything more from Mom?
No, not directly. I talked with Boston this morning. I spoke with my lawyer.
What did he say?
Well, there's a problem. It seems that Judith is balking at the divorce.
Well, but what about you and Rena then?
Well, until your mother agrees to a settlement, I can't answer that question.
Thank you. I would like to propose a toast to Allison Linden for a job well done.
Here's to World Oil.
I'll drink to that. I'm glad you could join me.
Well, thank you for asking me.
It's my pleasure. I've wanted to do this ever since you introduced me to that wonderful Mrs. Oster and her equally wonderful mineral oil leases.
I'm so glad that worked out.
Oh, it's worked like a charm. And believe me, Mr. Wheeler isn't going to forget what you did either.
I just love being here, looking down at everything from the top of the world.
So do I. Tell you something else I love.
What?
That dress you're wearing. I've been admiring it all day.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you like it. I thought perhaps it was a little daring.
You know what I always say? If you have it, show it.
I like that attitude. Yes.
Hi, Ricky. Rita, how are you?
Hi.
Don't you look nice?
Oh, thank you.
Glad to see you here.
Do you know Allison Linden?
No, I don't believe I do.
Hello, Ricky.
Hi.
Can you join us?
Sure, for a couple of minutes.
Good.
Allison, that's a beautiful dress you're wearing.
Rehnquist? What? So, that is your name. How did you find that out? You're free to go. What? Your bail is paid.
Hey, Lurleen, every store in town is having a sale. Ruby, look at this.
What?
You gotta look. See how the pattern on this thing is on the cloth nail? It looks real pretty, kind of like art. Really? Ruby, look at it. Oh, yeah, hon, that's real nice.